me something to eat.
Oh man, do it, man, do it. Cool.
Oh, ARLO, good.
You can't get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. You can't get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. And you can't get anything you want at Alice's restaurant. Well, it all started about 2 years ago on Thanksgivings, or 2 Thanksgivings ago, when my friend Ray and I went up to go see Alice at the restaurant. But Alice doesn't live at the restaurant. She lives in a church nearby the restaurant with her husband Ray and Foster the dog. And living in the church bell tower like that, they decided they didn't have to take out their garbage for a long time. And we got up there and saw all that garbage, and we decided it'd be a friendly gesture to take all that garbage down to the city dump. And so we loaded up the half a ton of garbage into the back of a red VW microbus with shovels and rakes and implements of destruction, head off to the dump to dump the trash there. Got to the dump there, and there was a chain across the dump, and a chain saying closed on Thanksgiving. We'd never heard of a dump being closed on Thanksgiving before. And with tears in our eyes, we wanted to go find another place to put the garbage. Didn't find one until we got to the side road, and off to the side of the side road was a cliff, and at the bottom of the cliff was a half a ton of garbage, and we figured one big pile of garbage was better than 2 little piles, and rather than pull that one up, we decided to throw ours down. And that's what we did there, and went back to Alice's house and had a Thanksgiving dinner that couldn't be beat. Didn't get up until got a call from Officer Roby. Said, "Kid, we found your name on an envelope at the bottom of a half a ton of garbage. Just wanted to know if you had any information about it." I said, "Yes, sir, Officer Roby. Cannot tell a lie. I put that envelope at the bottom of that half a ton of garbage." Well, after talking with him for about a half hour on the phone, came to the truth of the matter was, and he said we should go down to the police officer station. Now, friends, there was only 1 or 2 things that Opie could have done when we got down to the police officer station, and the first was to give me a medal for being so brave and honest on the telephone, which wasn't very likely, and we didn't expect it. And the second was we could have gotten bawled out and told never to be seen in the vicinity again, which is what we expected. But when we arrived at the police officer station, there was a third possibility we hadn't even counted upon, and we was both immediately arrested. I said, "Opie, I don't think I can pick up the garbage with these handcuffs on." He said, "Shut up, kid." And he loaded us in the back of the police car there, and we went to the, quote, "scene of the crime," unquote. Now, friends, let me tell you about the town of Stockbridge, Massachusetts, where this happened. They got 2 stop signs, 1 police car, and 3 police officers. But when we arrived at the scene of the crime, there was a total of 10 police officers and 3 police cars, being the biggest crime in the last half century, and they was taking fingerprints and dog-smelling prints and all kinds of stuff there. And they took 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with pictures and arrows on the back of each one to use as evidence against us. We went back to the police officer station there. Opie put me in the cell, said, "Kid, I want your wallet and your belt." Said, "Opie, I can understand you want my wallet, so I don't have any money to spend in the cell here, but what do you want my belt for?" Said, "We don't want any hangings." Said, "Opie, did you think I was going to hang myself for being a litter bug?" Well, you said he was making sure, and friends, he was, because he took out the toilet paper so I couldn't bend the bars, roll the toilet paper out the window, and have an escape. And he took out the toilet seat so I couldn't bend it over, hit myself over the head and drown. And it was a few hours later that we got a call from Alice. Remember Alice? There's a story about Alice. Alice came down with a few nasty words for Officer Opie, bailed us out of jail, went back and had some more Thanksgiving dinner that we couldn't be beat, and didn't get up until we had to go to court the next day. We walked into the court and sat down. Opie sat down with the 27 8x10 color gloss photographs with pictures and arrows on the back of each one to be used as evidence, and he sat down. And the judge came in with a seeing-eye dog. And Opie looked down at the 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with pictures and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one used as evidence against us. He looked at the seeing-eye dog. And then Opie came to the realization that the judge wasn't going to look at the 27 8x10 color glossy photographs with pictures and arrows and a paragraph on the back of each one describing how it was going to be used as evidence against us. And we was both fined $50 and had to pick up the garbage in the snow. But that's not what I came to talk about. Came to talk about the draft. They got a place down here in New York City called Whitehall Street where you walk in, get injected, detected, neglected, and selected. And I walked in there and I was hung down, brung down, all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly things, and they was touching in every single part of me. And finally, a sergeant came up and said, "We want you to see the psychiatrist, room 604. And I went down to see the psychiatrist there, and I walked in and said, "Shrink, I want to kill. I want to kill. I want to see blood and gore and guts and veins in my teeth. I want to eat dead, burnt bodies. Kill. Kill. Kill." He pinned the medal on me and said, "You're our boy." He said, "We just got to send you down there to a little evaluation here, and we want you to go and sit on that bench that says Group W." Now, friends, Group W is where they put you if you may not be moral enough to join the Army after committing your specific crime. I was sitting there on the bench there with mother rapers, father stabbers, father rapers, all kinds of mean, nasty, ugly people there on the bench with me. And the sergeant came over and said, "Kid, this paper's got 47 words, everything pertaining to the crime." I spoke for 45 minutes. Nobody understood the word that he said, but we had fun playing with the pencils and filling out the forms there. Had a good old time there. And I turned the paper over there, and on the back of the other side, at the very end of the other side, in quotation marks, in parentheses, in capital letters, read the following words: "Kid, have you rehabilitated yourself?" And I went up to the sergeant there and I said, "Sergeant, you got a lot of gall to ask me if I rehabilitated myself. I'm sitting here on the Group W bench because you want to find out if I'm moral enough to join the Army, kill people, and burn houses and stuff after being a litter bug." He said, "Kid, we don't like your kind. And then we're going to send your fingerprints off to Washington." Friends, somewhere in Washington, D.C., enshrined in a folder is a study of black and white, my fingerprints. And the only reason I'm telling you this is you may be in a situation, a similar situation, or you may have a friend in a similar situation. And if you're in a situation like that, just walk into the shrink wherever you are and sing a bar or Alice's restaurant and walk out. And if just one person does it, well, they'll think he's crazy and they won't take it. If two people do it in harmony, they think they're special and they won't take them. And if 3 people do it, well, they might think it's a movement. And if 50 people, can you imagine 50 people a day walking in, singing a bar, Alice's restaurant, and walking out? Well, they might think it's a movement. And friends, that's what it is. It's the Alice's Restaurant Anti-Massacre movement, and all you got to do to join is to sing it the next time it comes around on the guitar. Here it comes. You can't get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. You can't get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Walk right in, it's around the back, just a half a mile from the railroad track. And you can't get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. Da 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 da. At Alice's Restaurant.